Been a minute. It has been a minute. We need to go to the dyno yet. So the car is tuned on 93 pump gas. Next up is 85. I'd actually just put pump 85 in it. What I do is I actually just turn the fuel pumps on. I've got a hose I stick right to the PHR hanger, pump it into like these VT tanks right here. I keep saying and just go from there. So just got that done, and yeah, so I put regular sheets 85 in it. It actually came to 70%, which is actually pretty shocking because I didn't get it crazy low. Like the low light came on, but there's still 93 in there, and it was pure 93. So whatever was in there was really mixing. So we have a good bit of 85 in the car. Now, when I do go to the dyno, I'm going to put in my VP Racing X85 just because I got to drive down. We're going to do some testing and tuning around here. Again, same injector stuff before, but just change the dead times, which changes really everything. When you change injectors, you change dead times, you change an ECU. Those are the big things, right? That's really going to change how the car drives, feels, all that good stuff. So yeah, just going to try and break that stuff in. And then it's time to work on some other projects. So after this, I got my buddy Frank back again, and that's getting a full new engine. He bought a Toyota block. We're going to do a full Island Boys wiring harness. He's doing all this stuff. So that's going to be a cool one. I'm kind of excited to see how these colors look side by side because Atomic Silver is close-ish. So being at the event, Atomic Silver is close-ish, but Atomic Silver seems a little bit darker. Obviously, it's like a newer version of it. I would call it that. It's like a newer version. I really, really like this color. Some of the things about it, I'm like, eh. But when I'm like driving around, the sun hits it, it's absolutely beautiful. It really is that pretty of a color. But yeah, so Frank is going to be next up. It'll be kind of nice. I just finished up the white Aristo for David Lang, and he seems pretty darn happy. Now that car's headed down to Freed. They're doing an 8 HP max ECU. He was already on the books for them. So it's been really cool. I've been able to work on a lot more cars and make more content regarding that, and which is what I'm planning on doing, showing more videos of that stuff. It just takes me a lot longer to obviously make a YouTube video. The car's been driving great on 93 pump gas. I do have a little bit of a leak from the turbo smart blow valve, and I think I need to have this band remade, or the actual seal area here. I put it under pressure, and then like after it gets enough in the system, everything like tightens up, and then around like 15 psi it starts to leak again. Again, not the end of the world, but still like I want it to, you know, be as sealed up as possible, because every little leak means the turbo is working harder, and it means the engine is not being as efficient, and we can't make as much power. So there is that. I need to pick up the panel too from the guys down there, which would be perfect because I'm going to their dyno at Vagworks. Cover panel, they had to repowder coat it, but I just had this open. You can see PHR intercooler. So yeah, let's next up, maybe I'll get some video inside the car, but then get this thing on the dyno and start making some pools. And I'm gonna do this, and everyone's gonna be like, Ryan, shut up. I know, I can't help myself. I'm already gonna go over some of the things I would do a little differently. So one of the things is something I'd already made, but it was actually for my wife's car, is this one brake line up front. I'd actually just made it for her car, and the lines were different. See how it angles down a little bit more and doesn't line up side by side. Drives me nuts. Other people ask me too, why swoop them back like that instead of just going straight down. The reason I do that is it gives my arm a perfect spot to reach in here. If I shoot it straight down, now it blocks off this hole. Now I got a perfect window to get my arm in here. Makes it really, really nice to work on. I try to think of not just aesthetics, but the name Pure Function, right? It's more, I do a lot more aesthetics. There's no lie. But I try to think of the functional aspect of like, is this going to make my life easier? My whole basis on my cars, and sometimes I go too far, is less is more. Sorry for the belch. Less is more, but I want it to also have all the features. I know that's kind of counterintuitive, kind of like this. I want to drive-by-wire because the fact that I don't have to have auto control valve, I don't have to have a cable. It's an all-in-one unit. It makes it super, super simple for tuning. Just less is more. Same reason I don't run 12 injector. I know it could probably get even better drivability with this, bigger, with more fuel pressure. It's fine. I don't have to mess with it. Billet valve covers don't have the lines going across. I love that going up there. Don't have blow-by. I have thought about recircing. The reason I don't recirc, because I don't really like the smell, is simplicity. One less line. It just keeps everything over there. Don't have anything going in through the turbo, then going down through my intercooler piping. Don't want to have to take that chance. Mac valve being on here. It's not over on the body. Something that's all, like when I pull the engine, that all comes out as one unit. I'm going to disconnect anything. Disconnect that up there, boom, throw that on. Disconnect the downpipe, and, you know, a few bolts, and boop, comes out, right? Less is more. The biggest thing is why I want to get rid of the power steering. I hated working around it. It was always in the way. The lines were in the way. Now that I don't have traditional power steering, it is a godsend. It's one of my favorite things I did. The only thing I wouldn't do is the Granis rack. And again, nothing even against Granis. The rack is fine. It's just the ratio of 20-1, and the factory I think is 14-1. It's too playful. It feels almost like a truck-ish. So I'd keep a factory rack, dump all the fluid out, turn it side to side, pump all the fluid, loop the lines. Cause you can't just cap them off because it will have still a little bit. So it needs somewhere to go. And just keep a factory rack. That's what I would do. I can't think of really much else. I mean, everything else is great. If I go maybe like crazy extra mile, I don't know. I really don't. I think, actually I do. This power wire here, which is for the starter, comes down, runs there. No one cares about it. I was going to drill the hole in the body. I just have a hard time doing that. And you can have these, pass through. They're like Sherlock fittings, right? They're just Sherlocks. I was going to do it through the chassis. I had bought them, I still have them. I bought them 2 years ago, and I'm just like, I don't want to drill into it and regret it. So I didn't do that, but that's something I look back on. Not really a whole lot. The wheels, a big part of me is not like, I'm not in love with all that stuff. Like I said, I'm going to probably switch out the wheels here. I do wish this was blacked out, but Powerhouse Racing had sent me that stuff, and I actually told them not to send me this in black. And sometimes I do like the contrast, sometimes I don't. There's that little bit. Not really much else. I really can't. I can't think of really much else I would do differently. I love the way the car looks. I love the paint. I love the interior now. I need to get the rear seats done. I need to find a good upholster. We don't really have all the guys used to do. It's a dying breed. It's kind of like good body shops. It's a dying breed. So yeah.
This is not exactly something I usually do. Yeah, I've got this on here, so see how this goes. Hopefully I don't overpower it here today. The car's going to be loud, everything else. But I want to take it for a small ride. Got my Red Bull. I haven't even started the car yet. It's been a couple days. Turn that off. This new gauge setup, by the way, from, Haya. I always tell them that name. It trips me up every time. But having my gauges actually work now is so nice, but not bad. Not great, but not bad. Do that for a second there. Put the windows up. Windows? Well, that's the redneck in me. Electric power steering, yeah. Never gets old. How do I turn this thing on and off? I hit this button. Will this turn it on and off if I do that? That turns the mic off. Better turn that off before I get demonetized. Salt shaker, baby. Come on. Oh my gosh. I got demonetized, guaranteed. All right. Letting the car warm up right now. Air fuels are like 112. What I mean by that, 1.2, it's a Lambda. I need to fix the startup tables. That's way too lean for startup, I know. I do everything in Lambda too. I don't really like, it just makes it easier because dealing with E5 versus 93, everything's in Lambda. I remember John Curry explained that to me years and years and years ago, and I'm like, okay. I didn't understand it at the time, but I was going to do whatever makes my life easier in the long haul. It's one of those things like, sucks pulling the Band-Aid off, but you need to. So once I learned it, I'm like, this is way better. Modified oil pressure or modified oil pump is so nice. I have 123 PSI oil pressure right now, which is probably a little bit overkill. But yeah, so it has the relief valve done. It's got the PHR stuff, but I wanted to let it warm up a little bit here, but let's see, backing it out. I still got the windows up. One thing too, transmission. I'm feeling like third gear pops out randomly, so that's not good. And the other issue I'm having is it just doesn't feel great shifting, even when warm. No stall, no nothing. And again, the air fuels aren't even good. Just the car is great. So outside here, hopefully I'm not too blown out. And it's not a great angle, but shut the garage door, put the window down. Window, God, man. I want to adjust the electric power steering too, I think. Actually, let's turn this off. I don't want the heat on. Let's put this up for a second so I can just talk to you guys. So the car's not fully warm. It's like 110 degrees. You'll probably hear the transmission whine a little bit. This still has the steel bell housing, as you guys saw. But this is me cruising in second. E85, ID 1700, 60 PSI base. So they're more like 2150s now. So that's why it doesn't drive the best on 93. It drives way better on 85 just because it needs more fuel anyway, so the pulsing is a lot better versus when you have to have it at 93, which is a lot lower pulse. I do have a random rev hang, so you can see it's rev hanging. That might be something I'll come back and fix here once I'm done. It keeps thinking it's in decel when it's not. See if it stays in third. But yeah, not gonna be beating on anything for this video either. So just wanted to show you guys driving the car, what it's like. Again, electric power steering, you can see. I have the feedback set up that pretty much, it's probably a little less, oops, that didn't sit there as nice as I was hoping. Well, you hear that 23 to like 2700 RPM, the clutch makes a jangling noise every time. I don't know why, but it does. Yeah, it's taking the back roads here. Yeah, I'm just trying to think as I'm driving here. Just too many other things going on. There's so much construction going on by me. I went into decel, damn it. Anything below 1700 RPM, the car automatically goes into decel and starts adding fuel. And this thing stays so cold. I don't know what I did different this time around. I mean, I always bleed the cars really well. I make sure that I fully burp them. I always keep the coolant, the funnel, on top of it, so I let the car get fully warm, burp it, then get it cold and fully warm again, and I leave that funnel on there. So every little burp, the whole way down to it's cold, and pulls every bit of coolant it needs to into it, and then I remove it the next day. Maybe I'm being a little too much, but this car just takes forever. Like, it stays at 185 degrees with AC on. Love it. Stays 185 with AC on everything. It's still at 163. I don't have the fans kick on till 185 even. And they only kick on at like 20% duty cycle, so they're barely working. So the system's very efficient, and I don't have all the funneling, all that stuff, so it just works well. These back roads are terrible right now. The only thing, when they align the car, it's slightly off to the left, and it drives me insane. But that also might be part of the 20-to-1 thing with the Flaming River rack that I talked about. It's it has more slop in it, so I don't know how much, you know, technically I even lined the wheel up myself, and I've never had this issue in the past, so I don't know if it's the Flaming River rack. It just has so much play now that's 20-to-1. Don't know. It is fun. I can't deny it. It's really hard. We got a Red Bull in the center. Yeah, let's put the window down now, see how it sounds. You guys can hear it there. Rip. All right. God, I love this car. Worth every penny. So I wanted to at least give you guys a little bit of a drive. I'm not going to do anything crazy here, so I mean, it picks up so nice. You know, I haven't even fully tuned the car yet. We're going to do that here Wednesday. Like I said, I talked about this. I'm not even sure which video this is interjected in because I'm so scatterbrained. And yeah, I don't know. This is just I keep smiling. I haven't been this happy in a while. I really love the auto car, and I know with those 8 HPs, you can simulate a manual, and I got to try it. And I love that car, the way it drives. But man, the real deal, having a manual, the way a T56 shifts is just, mwah, chef's kiss. it just, every time, bang, click into gear, happy. Go back down this way again. Let's listen to it downshift, turn in. Listen to that. It's only like 6 pounds of boost, it just has the best blow-off valve noises. So yeah, that's that. Let's get back to the house. Okay, so that's that. The car made very good power. It peaked at 38 PSI there, and then it would trail off. Again, that is on a roller style dyno. So the turbo is rated, I think, for 1100. I think it still has more in it. It's about efficiency we're going to play with, but I'm very happy with where it's at, to be honest. I don't really feel like dicking around with it much more. I know I could push it harder, but all that back pressure is going to do is go back up inside the head. I know I can make over 1,000 with it, but again, you're just leaning on it hard, and that's a true 1,000 at the tire. If I put it on a dyno pack or something, it'd probably make like 1025, 1,050 pretty easily. If I leaned on it, I'd probably get like 1,100 out of it, just because those dynos read extremely high. So yeah, I'm like thrilled. Just drove it to oh shoot, World Cup finals. So this video's a little old now. Drove it down there, car did great. The only thing I'm finding right now, I've got to do a little bit of work. I've got a little leak. It's leaking oil somewhere. What I mean by leaking oil, let me say that again. Something is burning oil. So compression test, leak down test, all that is perfect, like legit perfect. So I'm like, okay, if that's the case, what's going on, right? Like if those are fine, then what's the issue here, right? So I got to kind of figure out what's going on and go from there. But besides that, the car starts great. I want to play with the fueling map a little bit more and go from there. I can't thank Tuned by Sean enough. He remoted in, took care of most of it. Now I just got to play with cold starts. And again, he can log in and do something like that, but it's just something you do here. Flip the car on one time every 24 hours.
you gotta let all that fuel dissipate. Someone says, well, the engine's cold. Doesn't matter. You gotta let all the fumes, everything in the intake manifold, everything's gotta escape, or it gives you an inaccurate way of getting that actual cold start. So yeah, I am pumped, like pumped. I'm glad to have my car back. But now it's time to go back to the auto car and start working on that or get a new project. I also have Frank's Quicksilver Super getting dropped off for a whole new engine. And then I'm actually doing a video on a ISF 8-speed car that's getting dropped off too. So plenty of work to come. Thank you guys very much for all your support. I have a new website coming, and I keep saying I have a new website coming. It's taking a little bit. It's going to have parts. Everything will be on it. So you'll be able to buy parts directly from me now. Working on getting the shop up and going. So there's a lot all at once. So I apologize for not having as many videos lately, but I promise you there is more coming. Y'all have a great day, and thank you for the continued support. Peace.